sounds pretty good at low speeds. I want to get up going real fast. Then it gets kind of weird. Dude sees me and just keeps on going. Freaking jerk ass. So we're going to talk a bit about this motorcycle that I absolutely love. And I am going on a vacation starting Friday, and I want to take it with me. We're going to North Georgia. So, ironically, I've been looking at trailers that look just like this right here for motorcycles, and that's what that is. That's so ironic. That's a sign, I think. That's a sign that I need to use one of these motorcycle trailers. So anyway, yes, I love this motorcycle. Why do I love this motorcycle? Well, here's one thing that I have not really got into using too much. I didn't even know what the hell it was, to be honest. But it's a quick shifter. That's down here, right there. Quick shifter. So I don't even have to use my hand to downshift or to upshift. See that? I'm not matching speed. I know you can do it. You can also burn up the clutch, and I'm still having some issues trying to get myself to do it because I feel like I'm burning up the clutch. But I downshift. Never let off the gas. Just downshift. In fact, if you let off the gas, it messes it up, and then half the time you can't shift anyway. So you just give it gas. It does all the work for you. And there's no problem using your hand, but at fast speeds or whatever, you can just quick shift. It's quicker than you can shift, to be honest. When I get going slower, I'll use the clutch. But like now, you know, and in a hurry, I'll use the clutch, obviously, because I've been driving motorcycles so long, I sort of have to use a clutch. And let me see if I could scoot in here. Scoot right in here. Thanks. Scoot behind this Tesla. So I love this motorcycle because it is fantastic. So I gotta stop saying but you guys get my point. So let's see. I love this motorcycle. My previous motorcycle was a Triumph Scrambler. When I had the Scrambler, I just loved it, but I was always like pushing it, you know. And two-cylinder had actually had more cc's than this, less horsepower, but more cc's. And but two-cylinder is a big difference. But I was always pushing it, and it's, you know, that bike's not made for it. To be honest, it's cool looking, but the older Scrambler, the 2014 that I had, which is not the new Scrambler. I think there's two of them now, right? And there's even a street Scrambler, I think. But they were not made for excuse me, nose is itching. They were not made for the dirt, not Florida dirt. Maybe hard packed dirt roads or something, but Florida sand road, shoot, man, I about killed myself. Went down about maybe a mile almost down a sandy road. I thought I was going to dump it. There, down and back. Almost did dump it, if I recall. I had that bike for a while, and it was nice, and then I got rid of the motorcycle for a couple years, for personal reasons, and then it was killing me the whole time, and then I got it again. I was wanting one. So last year they announced that they were going to come out with the Triumph Trident, and I was like, well, they got a bike that looks similar in size to the Scrambler, and I was like, oh, this bike looks great. It's, you know, then it was getting good reviews, and so it was supposed to come out in January, and I called around in January and nobody had one, so I waited, and I really wasn't ready, but I was just trying to get a you know, like a radar lock on. Are you just messing with me, lady? Why do people do that crap? I was trying to get a radar lock on what I was going to get, and then when I got ready to buy, then I was going to go for it. So I got ready to go for it like near the end of March, and there was still none around. And I was like, what the hell? So I went to the local dealer here in Orlando, and I sat on a couple bikes, and then they had this bike, and I looked over at a Daytona, and I thought this was like a Daytona because it looks so similar. I didn't even realize that there wasn't the body cladding and stuff. And sorry, I got this dead cat in my mouth. It's on the microphone, the little fuzzy thing. It's called a dead cat. Anyway, I thought they were the same. I don't know. I just sat on it, and I was like, well, this is different, because I sat on this bike, or an R maybe. It was an R or an RS. I sat on it, and I was like, wow, this is not at all what I thought this would feel like, because it's not that really forward positioning. And I fell in love instantly. So then I was going to buy a used one, and I really wanted a Monster, a Ducati Monster, because I just love the red ladder frame. I love the look of it. But it's back to the 2-cylinder, and then the triple really put me over the, just hearing how people said that triple just had a better overall range, torque range and everything, smoother. So I started looking for a used bike, and I was finding them in there, $5,000-$6,000. I was really looking at one over in Daytona Beach, $6,000. It had like 20,000 miles on it or something, somewhere around there. And I asked my wife, I said, what do you think? Should I do this or buy new? It's about, I save about $4,000 buying new, or buying used rather, sorry. But the new one comes with a 2-year warranty. I know how it's been taken care of. And she was like, and my wife is super cool, and she says, get the new one. I'd get the new one. I'm like, all right. So I went that route. So then I went to go talk to a bank and talk to this and that. Anyway, so then I started really, working on getting it. And then I realized, well, I can get an RS for another $2,000. So I get more horsepower. It's got TFT screen, color screen, blah, 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 other stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. So lo and behold, I wound up spending, $15,000 on a motorcycle. Then about a month later, I go back up there to, I went back up there, I think, to get the Bluetooth turned on, because they added the Bluetooth module, but then you have to have Triumph turn it on, which is super stupid. And I went up there, and they had the Trident, and I was like, oh, wow. It still looks pretty neat, but it didn't, to me in person, it looked different. It looked taller and skinnier. And it seemed, looked, and felt, sitting on it, taller and skinnier than my 2014 Scrambler. And when I sat on it, and I was like, I was like, not bad. I don't think it's bad, and I'd love to ride one. I'd love to do a review on one. But I'm definitely happy I bought this. And I had never driven a sport bike before, and I know this isn't a true sport bike. I've never driven a naked upright bike. So I was, at first I was really, really apprehensive of how to do this, ride this bike. To be honest, I was kind of scared for a little bit, and I haven't actually felt scared on a motorcycle since the first one I bought back in 2006, I think. It was a sellover of 2005. It was early 2006, early. And I went and bought a Shadow 750. And I had driven dirt bikes and four-wheelers and three-wheelers and even, a couple times a motorcycle, but never really drove them. I drove, took a motorcycle down the road one time. I didn't have my license yet, so I went and bought it. I went to a dealer. I traded in my four-wheeler. I had a Honda Rancher four-wheeler, and I traded it in because I was sick of not having anywhere to go to ride it except for the same old one or two places, and it was like, sucks, same crap every time. And so I decided I'm going to get a motorcycle. Plus, some of my friends are doing the same thing. We all had four-wheelers, and then they decided they were going to go the motorcycle route. And I was like, I'd always wanted one. So, but when I drove that bike home for the first time, excuse me, guys, I got to move that mic. It's just in my mouth. I'm like eating this fur. So when I drove that bike home for the first time, I was like scared to death, man. Scared to death in this little 750. You know, but you know, I got used to it after a couple days. And then since then, it hasn't, you know, I haven't felt that way. So I don't know if it was just slightly different riding position. You know, it's not too much different. It's slightly different than my last bike. On this one, slightly different. So I don't know if it was that or just I hadn't ridden in 2 years or a combination maybe. So for a few days, maybe a week, I was a little like, and you guys can see what I drive in, right? Over there is I meant to show you. Over there is SeaWorld. I was going to show you guys that, but I forgot. So SeaWorld's over there. But anyway, I drive in this crap, this horrible traffic, and it's like I hate this crap. This is Interstate 4 through Orlando, and it's the most dangerous stretch of road in the U.S. Like really, excuse me, my nose is just irritating me. It's the most dangerous stretch of road in the U.S. More fatalities than I think anywhere else. So or more crashes at any rate. I don't know if fatalities are necessarily because there's a lot of crashes. Probably because we're bumper to bumper. I doubt too many people die bumper to bumper, but you never know. So anyway. About a week maybe, and I got just where it didn't bother me anymore, and I started getting used to the bike, and I started practicing. I started watching other vloggers online. Moto Jitsu is one of them that just taught me to that you need to told me that you need to practice. So I practiced turning, practiced this, and I still try to practice. I don't practice as much as I should because by the time I get off the bike I'm ready to die. It's 90 degrees out right now, and I usually wear, just through the summer I've been wearing textile pants and textile jacket. I have the textile jacket on because it has a liner that's in my bag behind me, but the pants, there's no liner, so I'm wearing the hot pants right now. And actually it's cooled down a little bit today. It was stupid hot about 2 hours ago. Right now it's about 3:30. It was actually hotter at about 1 o'clock. It was still hot. I walked outside. I was like being in the oven. But I just, this bike has just changed my whole. I love it. I love this. I love this so much more than riding a cruiser. And I like cruisers. It's not like I don't like them or don't ever want one. I mean, if I could have multiple bikes, I'd have a bunch. But I love this bike. Like I can't foresee going without it unless I went up to a speed triple or something. But I don't know. This is awesome. And there are times when I think, I could get like a true sport bike, maybe the Daytona, or move over to like a Gixxer or something. But I don't know if I can handle that over. I'm going to be 50 this year. I don't know if I can handle bent over like crazy all the time. But I am super excited because I really want to take this thing up to Georgia because if you haven't noticed, I had one curve so far, basically. And Florida's all flat, and the roads are mostly straight. The only time I get to go around curves if I'm going around a lake, which we have 1 million lakes in Central Florida. 1 million, or probably more than 1 million. If I'm going around a lake on the road, then I get to do some twisting, but it's not the same at all. So I really want to ride this bike up in North Georgia. We run up near Blue Ridge. It's Morganton, but it's up near Blue Ridge. So I want to. We drove around last November. We were up there for Thanksgiving week. We did some driving around. My wife has family that's nearby, or used to live nearby and stuff, and so she knows the area. And I'm just super excited to drive through the Blue Ridge Mountains on a motorcycle. So I'm trying to come up with a good way to take this bike up there and do that. I don't know if I'm going to put it on trailer. I thought about one of those little hitch things that you put the hitch on the back and you drive the bike up on there, or you set the bike up on there, you strap it down. Or if I should drive the bike up in the back of the truck. You know, I have a Gladiator. If you haven't seen my Gladiator or my Jeep stuff, check me out, please. And you know, if you guys like it, please hit like and subscribe. If there's anything you'd like to see me do or you'd like to comment on, let me know. This bike is pretty stock still. I got a lot of stuff I can do. And eventually I want to get to where I am doing some other reviews of bikes, whether I have to rent them to start with or what. I will do that, but I would like to do some reviews, and you know, hopefully I'll start working with some people and being able to do that stuff on their dollar or whatever. That'd be sweet. But you know, I've driven a lot of different bikes. This is my 5th bike that I've owned, I think. Yes, 5th. The last one was a Scrambler, and then before that I had a 2006, I think it was, or 8, somewhere in there, Kawasaki Main Streak, which I love that bike. It was a cruiser, but a 1650 or something like that, and it was super fast. And I might have those numbers wrong. I'll have to look it up, flash it up against the screen right now. But that bike was fast. It was pretty nice. Before that, for about a week, I had 2 bikes at once. I bought a Yamaha 700, 800, 900, somewhere in there, like a cruiser, right? And then I bought a windscreen, put the windscreen on, thought, oh, I was gonna like that, and then I just felt like an old man. And this is a while ago, so I got rid of that. But I had that, and then someone I worked with, I just started working with this guy, had like the Main Street, and he was selling it, and I'm like, holy crap, dude, I love it. So I bought it from him and sold the other one. I think I even lost a little money, but I didn't care. My ex-wife was pissed, but whatever. That's why she's my ex-wife. And then before that, I had the Honda Shadow 750. It was nice, a black. It was black with red racing like flames over it. It's pretty nice. But you know, and I've driven other bikes. I've driven Harleys, and I've driven some other cruisers. But this was I driven one like a little Ninja, I think it was, like the small Ninja, like a small Ninja. And I drove around the block and was like, you can keep this. I don't like feeling like I'm hanging over the front wheel. So I always thought all bikes that were sort of sporty was like that. That's why I sat on this. But you know, I'd like to do some stuff, some other reviews and stuff. If I can figure out what I'm saying while doing a review, it might be more interesting. But this bike is super sweet. I really love it. It's got lots of power. I never feel, I mean, some people say, oh, there's a little bit of dead range somewhere. I don't feel it. This thing gets up to 120 like no tomorrow, you know? And then from there, it's supposed to do 146 miles an hour. I don't know. I've never gone that fast. Mom, if you're listening, please don't listen right now. I have had the bike up to 130 for a blip. 130, and back down. I don't normally drive that fast. I'm normally going 80, maybe 90. You know, I'm keeping up with traffic, or passing traffic. Right now right now we may be doing an 80 miles an hour, 84 maybe, but if you're a cop, it's just simulated speed. Not real. It's all smoke and mirrors. We're passing Disney World. This is where traffic comes to a halt and sucks. So I'm going to cheat a little bit here. And again, if you're a cop, this is simulated cheating. I'm not really going to drive down the side of the road. So it just didn't really happen. It's, again, smoke and mirrors. So we're going to pass these people because I can't handle this slowness. Well, right now I'm actually in a lane, but when I get up here, I'm going to go down the emergency lane. But I have to, because I don't want to get rear-ended sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It's just too crazy. It's insane. And when I do that, lane splitting is illegal in Florida, and I don't lane split. I did, you know, I may, if I'm at a light and there's some room and I got to get over to go, I'll go between them slowly. And if I am in the emergency lane, I will do it slow. I'll go by at about 20 miles an hour, maybe 25. I don't fly by. I'm not one of these guys in the emergency lane doing 100. You know, that's ridiculous. That is so dangerous, and you're putting people in danger. You're putting other people in danger that didn't ask to be put in danger, and I don't think that's right to do. I mean, it's right. I take it right up there with. I never drove with my kids on the motorcycle. Sure, I take them for a ride around the block. I put a helmet on their head and take them for a ride around a city block, you know, like a little street, back streets. But I never took them for rides, actual rides, because I don't feel like, as children, that they have the capacity to make that kind of decision for themselves, to be really aware. I feel as I have tattoos all over me, and I never let my kids have a tattoo before they're 18, because I'm like, you're not going to blame me for a mistake that you get. When you're 18, at least you won't be able to blame me, you know. But I'm the same way with the bike. I don't want to put my kid in a position where I'd kill them, or maybe not me killing them, or somebody could kill them. You know, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to live with that, you know. So I am now breaking the law. Breaking the law. I'm looking for the law right now. So, you know, I just don't feel like that's the right thing to do. But meanwhile, this bike's got plenty of power, feels fantastic, it shifts fantastic. I love pretty much everything about this bike. The only thing I don't love about this bike is the fuel capacity, because yes, I've gotten 74 miles to the gallon when I'm going like like 45 miles an hour or something. I've gotten good fuel capacity or fuel range, but oops, stuck in neutral. I don't like that. I do that quite often sometimes. Neutral sort of catches when I'm trying to downshift, which I guess is okay, but I just need to learn to press harder sometimes. I do it mostly when I'm not paying too good attention. But it's just everything about this bike. The brakes are fantastic. These Brembos are the bomb. They stop really good. I've never even got to fully use them, and I hope I never do, but I've practiced, you know, trying to learn how to stop quickly, and they're just awesome. Look, a Gladiator. So that's my other vehicle. Man, somebody's smoking some serious weed. I could get high for free every day going home if I just drive behind the right car. Multiple cars. I mean, it is just, somebody is just baked. But this bike is great. It's great. It's a great running bike. It sounds great. I do want to put maybe like the Scorpion, the SC or something like that, the new exhaust on it. I think about doing it all the time. I'm going around you, guy, because you're slow. But I don't, I like the way this bike sounds. I think it sounds fantastic when you're going fast. Now the low speed sound, you can't really tell. But I remember when I only had the bike like a week or two. Right when I got like brave enough, after a couple days, I got brave enough to take off, and I'm going about 50, and I take off from that, and I'm like, where's that bike coming from? What's that sound? And then I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, wow, that's me. That sounds that good. I think it sounds great at high speed. It's not so much at low speed. It's a Triumph. It has that sewing machine sort of sound, but there's not a lot I wouldn't change about this bike. Now, what I would like to see is heated grips available, factory heated grips. I know you can do some aftermarket things, and I think you can even attach those to it from Triumph, maybe, but it's not an option from Triumph. I'm like, why is that not an option? There's what else was there? Something else I thought should be, I think that the Bluetooth module was way too friggin' expensive. And then even have to turn it on after that. I'm like, are you kidding me? For what you get, I think that kind of sucks. I do think the previous generation full TFT screen, that was like on the 2017 or 2019 or whatever, the previous generation of this, the setup of the dials and stuff, I've watched it, is better. The one on the newer Speed Triple is better. Now, you tell me, why is the Speed Triple and the Street Triple, why are the screens different? Like, how'd that happen? I mean, really? So I wish it was a little bit better at times. Like, I can't read the clock for crap. It's so small. Like, maybe I want to see what time it is. I can't read it. I also can't ever find the damn fuel, so I don't I don't pay for fuel, guys. Sorry. And you say that, and people are like, man, you suck. It's a perk I got. You know, it took me a long time to get this job, and it's a perk I got. I do put a lot of miles on my vehicle because I live far away. But I have to put my mileage in every time I do it at the pump, and I have to find the mileage, and I can never find the stinking mileage. And then the fact that, you know, I work 39-ish, 39, 40 miles away from this guy. What are you doing? What are you doing, people? This drives me crazy. Like, we're already going slow enough. So anyway, you know, 40 miles, you put gas in it. I got to do at least, I mean, speed limit's 70, right? But if you're not doing 80, you're pretty much getting ran over. So you got to go faster. So I don't, you know, I get like 35 miles a gallon, 33 miles a gallon. You know, so I can drive to work and back, and then back to work, and maybe a third of the way home at best, and I have to have gas. So, and that's if I'm not hot dogging it or whatever. So it's not a lot. So I have to get gas a lot. So what I do is I have fuel tanks at home, and when I get gas in the truck, I'll just fill those up so I don't have to stop. I'll put fuel on it at home, and you know, 5-gallon tank usually lets me top off twice, and I have 2 of those. So, and then I have 1 on the truck. So if I really don't want to stop, but I just don't want to put gas in this stupid thing constantly. It's a pain. It's just such a pain to stop. I hate stopping, but it's just, you know, I just try to make it easier on myself. But if the tank was a little bit bigger, I feel like, you know, an average of 120 to 140 miles on a tank of gas at highway speed is ridiculous. I think it should be more. I know they say it's like 3.7 gallons, U.S. gallons or something, but I've never got that in there. I think 3.59 or something is the most I've gotten. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I've never gotten anywhere near the gas they said, and I've gone ways over what it said I was empty. So, you know, a good bit. Look at that pretty car. So, I just wish that it had a better, you know, tank capacity. It looks enormous, but if you take these 2 bolts up and you lift this up, you'll notice that the tank's really not that big. It's like flat bottom tank, kind of, sort of. But other than that, that's like my only gripes. Those are my only 2 gripes. I like everything else about this bike. I mean, I love everything else about this bike. It's just a fantastic motorcycle. It runs great. Triumph. I'm always impressed with their machinery and their stuff and all that. This particular one, the Street Triple, is super light. You can't complain about it. I know the Speed Triple would be a little heavier, and I knew, like, I looked at it. Plus the fact that it's also for like $5,000 or $6,000 more than this bike. I didn't want to pay that kind of money, but I also knew that I was not ready for that. You know, 1,000 or almost 1,100 cc motorcycle in this configuration. You know, I really don't need it. So there's that. But I see this bike as a long-term bike. I mean, I'm 50. How long am I going to ride? Sadly, you know, another 10 to 20 years max. I mean, I could be 70 and still riding, but I don't know, maybe not. It just depends. You know, as long as I'm still witty and it doesn't kill me to do it, I plan on doing it. But I got to have my wits about me, you know. That's definitely important to have your faculties, you know. Kind of weird. It's like I'm approaching 50 at the end of this year, and I started thinking about now, you can't keep any space between you because someone's going to try to fill it. So I'm just trying to keep enough space to stop. So anyway, sorry, it's me getting angry because people are jerks. He's seeing me too. He actually was looking at me and still did it. But I mean, I get people all the time. I had one lady I'm right next to her, and I'm like, I don't even try tooting the horn because, okay, that's a gripe I got. This stupid button over here, and I don't like the placement of the horn. I don't like the placement of the joystick. I think they should have moved the joystick somewhere else. I don't know. I just, that irritates me. I don't love it. And the horn sounds like crap. Listen to the horn. That horn is atrocious. I need to get a better horn. Because that is just, it sounds like I'm on a child's toy. Nobody can hear it. So I just rev the engine because it's louder. So that's why I was revving the engine, not for any other reason. Just it's louder. See, accident. And then where's the other car? Off into the woods, possibly? I don't know. But yep, no, not many gripes. You know, I do gripe about the traffic, but I'm super stoked about riding this bike up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that trailer probably from U-Haul, because I don't want to drop a bike. I don't want to drop my bike, not any bike, but definitely don't want to drop my bike. So I feel better about the trailer, plus I can put some stuff in it. And then when I get up there, I can wake up. My wife likes to sleep in a little bit longer than me most days. I mean, I try, but I get stir crazy. So I figured I can get up and go for a ride. You know, just take an hour ride around. I'm super stoked about it. I can't wait. My last vacation. If you watch any of my older videos, my last vacation, I got COVID, and we were headed to the Keys, and on the way down we were going to stop in Jupiter, Florida, which is like near West Palm Beach, and there is a BMW experience or something to that effect, and they have they're super fast cars that you can drive, and this thing's free. They feed you, they let you drive real fast. You follow like a lead car, and you can't pass, but other than that you can go real fast. My father-in-law's done it, and he said it was so fun. You know, you can, if the people in front of you will go, you can get up to like 160 to 170 miles an hour, I believe. And I was like, oh, it's so fun. And we had signed up for it back in last September or August, and COVID slowed everything down. And then the Friday before, the week before Christmas, which was the Friday before Christmas was on a Friday this year, we were getting ready to go see my daughter in in the Keys. She lives in the Keys, and we were going to see her. And on Thursday, they called my wife and said, "Hey, we have a spot open. Do you guys want to come?" My wife calls me. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's not even questionable." So I had been feeling sick for a couple days, but I woke up Friday feeling fantastic, and she was adamant that I get tested because she didn't want me bringing that down to my daughter. And I was like, come on. I felt great. I felt like hell for 2 days prior. Head was killing me. Head was just killing me. I thought it was sinus infection. It really, I'd have laid my life down that it was sinus infection. So I got tested. About 2 hours later, I get a text saying I got COVID. I'm like, oh. So it ruined stopping down for the night. We're going to spend the night in Jupiter, do the racing at like 9 o'clock at night. So it ruined that. It ruined me seeing my daughter for the weekend, and then it ruined my whole Christmas. I was off, and my company pays me to be out, but I was already on vacation, and my vacation doesn't carry over, and it was the end of the year. So Christmas came. The day after Christmas, I felt good. That was a Saturday. Finally felt okay. So I had Sunday, was my Saturday-ish, and Sunday were my only day really feeling okay. And then I went to work Monday. Vacation over. So I didn't get to do anything. It blew. It sucked so bad. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you can't always win them, I guess. And you know, in a greater scheme of things, I had COVID and recovered without a lot of problems. I was pretty sick, but you know. So you really can't complain when you walk away from COVID and you're okay. There's people dying, people getting serious problems. You know, I'm ready for that to be over too. That sucks. All this bullcrap COVID stuff. You know, we're at the end of June now. July 4th is next Saturday. We're close to what 17 months in or something, right? 16, 17 months in to where we really knew that we had a pandemic, quote unquote, and you know, we're still dealing with it. See, I could do like that guy, just put my bike in the back of the truck. But it kind of scares me a little bit. The Gladiator is kind of up a little bit, so see, I think this thing just has lots of power. I'd love to do a race day, but I don't know how to do it. I live nowhere near a racetrack, so I never will, probably. I used to live up outside of Jacksonville, and there is a racetrack not too far from that. And I could still be there in a couple hours, but that's a lot. So, that's too much extra work. It's hard for me to get off of work all the time. Thought it was my wife sheep for a minute. You see the lights are flashing. You don't know what it is. Not a cop, thank God. I might have been coming a little hot. So, always good. Always good when it's not a cop. Do. And now for the peace and tranquils part of my ride. So, but I am pretty much home, guys. So I would just like to say thanks for checking me out. Please hit like and subscribe. If there's any things you'd like me to see or talk about, I am in Central Florida, so there's lots of stuff that I could drive around and go see. My wife had the idea, like, you should drive around Disney and Universal, and people can see kind of like what it's like around there and stuff. And maybe I'll do that. But it'd be nice to know that you guys would like to see that. So let me know, and maybe I can make that happen. Also, check out my Jeep stuff if you have any interest in that. I try to do lots of different things. There's a lot of videos on that. More coming. And these are my two passions, essentially, Jeeps and motorcycles. So, you know, I can't show you my other passion. So, different website. No, but anyway, I joke, kind of. But just hit like and subscribe. And thanks for checking me out. And as always, guys, peace out.